Hello. Today on day 13, we are going to be talking about some of the ways that you can actually organize your Mac computer for productivity. So a little bit of the things that are on here. So first of all, we have this thing called the dock. So I pull down on my mouse and the dock pops up. We're going to talk about how you can customize this, but I just want to point out a couple of things. If you have a little arrow down here, that means that the application is open. You can change whatever applications are down here. So let me show you. I don't ever use my Apple Music on this computer. So if I right click, it will show options and I can remove this from the dock. Then that way it's gone. I don't have to look at it anymore. Down here I have more space. It's going to show you recent applications. So this numbers I opened a few days ago. I'm going to go ahead and right click and then I can close that without going into the application. And then I can go ahead and also remove that from the dock. If you have an application that you want to keep in the dock that you use a lot, you can right click and choose keep in the dock. And that's what I've done for things like Google Chrome, for Camtasia, which is what I use to record these. So I'm going to go ahead and remove numbers from the dock. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how we can move the dock around. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the system settings here. And that's going to bring this up. And I'm going to go to dock. So here I can choose the dock to be bigger. Oops, that's the wrong one. I can choose it to be bigger or smaller. Some people like their dock really small. I don't like that. It makes me feel like my eyesight is even worse. So I make it fill up the whole bottom of the screen. If you are using the genie effect, that means that when you hover over it, the application gets bigger. You can have that magnification be really big, so it's even bigger, or you can have it smaller. You can have your dock on the left, so it's going to be over here. It's going to pop up eventually on the bottom or the right. I like mine on the bottom. And then you have all these other options. I like to see which recent applications I was using. I like to know which applications are opening. And then if you don't want to see it bouncing when you open the application, you can turn that off. So that's all the things in the dock. While we're still in this system preferences, I just want to talk about a couple other ways that you can customize your Mac. So one of the things that Mac OS has is these hot corners. So you can make the corners of your screens do things. Let me show you a couple of things I can do. I'm going to come in here to Mission Control. And I'm actually going to ignore all of this just because it depends on whether or not you have mouse and different things. But I'm going to come in here to the hot corners. And here in the hot corners, I can tell my hot corners to do things. So if I want to go to the desktop, I'm going to set that in the top left-hand corner. And if I want to see every window that is open, I'm going to set that in the right-hand corner. You have different options. I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And if I push my mouse over to the left-hand corner of the screen, it's going to take me to the desktop. So when I pull my mouse over to the right-hand side, here on mine, it's going to show all of my available windows like this. So I can see everything that I have open at once. One other thing that macOS has is this thing called the Launchpad. So this is a lot like the iPad or the iPhone setup. You can put your apps into folders. You will see all of your apps that you have. And so if this makes sense to you, you can also launch apps from here. And you can click and drag and put your apps into folders if you want to. I don't tend to use the Launchpad at all, but for some people this will be a nice way to be able to view your apps. So those are 3 different ways that you can use the features in the Mac OS system to organize your